Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Okay, good afternoon. Board to reconvene. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Peters.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to the Tuesday, June 20th, 2 p.m. meeting of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. Before I move to County Council Margot Raison for a report, I have a chairman's report of my own. Bear with me, it's a long one, but it's an important one. Okay, before I ask County Council, I'm very excited to announce, if the public is not already aware, our county's current Chief Administrative Officer, Ryan Alsop, will be leaving us the first week in August to become the new CAO of Napa County. I think we'll have more time at a later board date to say farewell to Mr. Alsop, but for now, I speak for this entire board in thanking him for his work and leadership here in Kern County over the last 6.5 years. And we wish he and his family the very best as they relocate to Napa County. With all of the work and change that's taken place here in Kern County over the past few years, and with all of the extraordinary work that lays ahead, finding the right leader who can continue to help move this county forward is critical. It's my pleasure to be the one to announce that today in closed session, the Board of Supervisors voted unanimously 5-0 to appoint James Zervis as Kern County's next Chief Administrative Officer, effective August 5th, 2023. Mr. Zervis was previously appointed on March 16th, 2020 to the role of Chief Operations Officer by outgoing Chief Administrative Officer Ryan J. Alsop. In this position, Mr. Zervis has been responsible for assisting Mr. Alsop in overseeing all operations, functions of the administrative office, including general operations and functions of county government, budget and finance, policy and legislative affairs, compliance and accountability, human resources, general services, information technology, and economic and workforce development, among other functions. Mr. Zervis has also worked across all county departments to implement various policy and strategic initiatives. Before his appointment as the county's Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Zervis has served as Chief Financial Officer, Treasurer, and Interim City Manager for the City of Shafter from 2011 to 2020, and in various executive level positions, including as City Manager with the City of Wasco between 2009 and 2011. During this time, Mr. Zervis sat on several regional and statewide boards and commissions related to local government and governmental finance. Prior to being in public service, Mr. Zervis worked in a variety of financial positions in the private sector, most recently as CFO for ACX Pacific Northwest, Inc., a large agricultural processor and exporter. Mr. Zervis is also currently on an occasional part-time lecturer with the School of Business and Public Administration at California State University, Bakersfield. Mr. Zervis received a bachelor's degree in accounting and business administration with an emphasis in finance from Central Washington University, and earned a master's degree in business administration from the University of Phoenix. Mr. Zervis is a certified public accountant, certified managerial accountant, chartered global management accountant, and certified public financial officer. Congratulations, Jim, on your appointment. This board looks forward to working with you. Would you like to say a few words for the audience and the public? Welcome.
Thank you. Chairman Flores and board members, thank you for affording me the opportunity to serve as our community as the next Chief Administrative Officer. I am both humbled and honored by this selection. The work we do here is collaborative. As you know, we have a strong and talented team of people within our county administrative office and many departments across the county. Without their support, I would not be here before you today, nor would we have achieved the progress as an organization that we have over the past few years. For this, I would like to thank our CAO staff specifically for their dedicated work and continued support. It's a fantastic team, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Many of them actually joined us here this afternoon, and I appreciate it. I'd also like to thank our current CAO, Ryan Alsop, for his mentoring, leadership, and friendship over the years, all of which I will greatly miss. Last, but certainly not least, I would like to thank my wife, Sarah, and family, a few of which are with me here this afternoon, for their continued love and support at home and in my professional endeavors. I've truly enjoyed serving Kern County over the past 3 years, and I look forward to continuing to work alongside you and the other department heads to achieve the strategic priorities, goals, and objectives of your board. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Zervis. Fantastic. We have been well served and we will continue to be well served. Thank you and look forward to working with you. Okay, that brings us to the consent agenda. There's agendas located.
Report out from
Oh, I forgot, Mark.
County Council.
Yes, County Council. Now is the report from County Council.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, board members. This morning in closed session, you also met on item number 36, but there is no reportable action.
Thank you, Ms. Rezon. Okay, continuing with the consent agenda. All items listed with the CA above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. I will read the consent agenda items at this time now. So on page 2, that includes items 3 and 4. On page 3, items 5 through 7. Page 4, items 8 through 10. Page 5, items 11 through 17. On page 6, items 19 through 23. Page 7, items 24 through 31. Page 8, items 32 through 37. Page 9, items 38 through 45. And on page 10, items 46 through 48. Is there any member of the public that would like to comment on any of the consent agenda items before we vote on those items? Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Members, cast your vote.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this brings us to public presentations. This is a portion of the meeting that's reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on this agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask a question for clarification. They may make a referral to staff for factual information or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. Also, the board may take action to direct staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state and spell your name before making your presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ralph Robles. I am a veteran. And I come to repeat a report that was on the internet about a announcement given by the Maricopa County Clerk's Office on June 2nd. And in that statement, they notified the public that the Secretary of State would not be running for re-election. What generated this, in my opinion, is that the Maricopa County Clerk's Office admitted that they did not count the ballots at the MCTEC on election day, claiming there were too many to count. Instead, Maricopa, under Mr. Bill Gates, who is the secretary, under his authority, they opened sealed bins and put over 250,000 ballots in trays without counting them. There is no way to know how many ballots were in the drop boxes. Then Maricopa trucked the ballots to Runbeck to scan the signatures on ballot envelopes scanned, saying they estimated there were 275,000 ballots. Next, Runbeck's logs showed that they scanned 298,142 ballots, envelopes. 35,000 ballots were created apparently out of thin air and sent back to MCTEC to read. In view of the questionable handling of ballots in this county in the past two elections, I think it is imperative that there be a forensic audit of our last two elections. Too often, the questions that I have put before this board have not been answered, and one of them had to do with the handling of these ballots.
Thank you, Mr. Robles. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Eddie Lane. Congratulations to Mr. Zervis on your appointment. Thanks to the clerk of the board for working with me. You have two photographs. The first is of the $1 Million Nature Center in Hart Park. For several years, community advocates have requested fencing around the Nature Center for its protection. During Easter weekend, a man used the side of the building as a urinal. Fencing is needed. Second picture is of the Piles Boys Camp parking lot. At the request of community advocates and due to encroachment by vehicles onto the riparian preserve, fencing was installed. The preserve is now protected. During the high water this year, the Kern River is visible in the secondary floodplain in the preserve, perhaps 10 feet below the fencing. Back in Hart Park, the river is perhaps 25 feet below the Nature Center. Common sense. If the County of Kern can install fencing around the riparian preserve to protect the preserve, it can install fencing around the Nature Center for its protection. Also shown are copies of the city, well, you have it, City of Bakersfield budget information reflecting the installation of security cameras in city parks. These cameras will help address issues of vandalism, graffiti, and crime. Security cameras are commonly used crime prevention measure, which should be adopted by the County of Kern. The costs are not prohibitive. Such cameras are clearly within the intent of crime prevention, which is one of the primary purposes listed in Measure K's ballot language. Also provided again are copies of operational funding levels provided by County Council. Thank you. A year and a half ago, the Sierra Club issued a call to fairness that requested Kern County begin to address the issue of underfunded supervisorial districts. Two of those districts, 4 and 5, have high percentage of minority and economically disadvantaged populations. These two districts with 40% of Kern County's population receive only 13% of operational funding for parks. That's just not right. Parks provide doses of nature for the public. Their maintenance and security countywide, but especially in underfunded supervisorial districts, need to become a priority for Kern County. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane, would you stay there just for 1 second? I had one quick question for you. This second picture where it says no authorized vehicles allowed, this fence here, are you maintaining this is a new fence or is this an old fence?
That fence was put in about a year and a half ago. The very advocates, we sent pictures to Supervisor Maggard showing vehicles down in the preserve.
Okay.
And the county installed the fencing.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Supervisor Crouch.
Mr. Lane, I'm going to respond off the top of my head. If you'd like to come back up, I'm going to I want to ask you, you're talking about districts 4 and 5. You don't think you're getting a appropriate portion of, and fill in the blank for me there, parks?
Well, this is, I requested in public.
You don't think they're getting an appropriate amount of parks maintenance money? Is that what is that what it is?
The Sierra Club a year and a half ago had a call for fairness. The figures you have before you show the actual operational expenses from Kern County in your district. Last year, it was 4%.
What I want to have you go back and think about, and I asked Mr. Alsop to look into this at one point in time. I don't know that you have this available right now, and I'll just speak to the 4th district because I'm not as well versed about the 5th. But in the 4th district, we have multiple park districts, which have nothing to do with the county. And we don't fund them, but they provide parks and recreation services. And we have multiple cities that also provide those exact same services. So while you're looking at the county budget, if you look at the overall county, including districts, cities, and the unincorporated areas that we serve, I think you get a different picture than the one that you are portraying when you come up and speak that we only get X percent in a certain districts. It makes it sound like Supervisor Perez and I aren't really doing our job. And I don't think that's the case.
Well,
Thank you very much.
With all fairness, other supervisory districts have other recreation park districts too. Look at the North Bakersfield Recreation Park District.
That's one district, sir. I'm talking, if you want me to go into it, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I'd like to discuss this with you privately, please.
No, I think we should do it here so everybody can hear it, because that's the way you do it. So could we agendize something, Jim, Ryan, I can talk to you after the meeting and we can come up with a time and what's more appropriate to maybe lay out these facts that I'm referring to?
Yeah, through the chair, Supervisor Couch, I think that's a fantastic idea, and I'll do that next week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Chairman, if you wouldn't mind.
Supervisor Perez.
Supervisor Couch, thank you very much. I think that's a very helpful suggestion, and I'm eager to get on the same page as well. And I think, you know, we fight really hard, and these are hard issues. But I appreciate you, so thank you.
Thank you. Brings us to board member announcements or reports. Oh, actually, we're still in public comment. I'm sorry. Public comment still. Sorry. Public comment is not closed.
Good afternoon. I would like to bring to your attention the minimum wage compaction issue that is
Can you
still
provide us
affecting-
your name for the record, please?
I'm sorry. My name is Emily Sotelo, EMILYSOTELO.
Thank you.
The minimum wage compaction that is still affecting classifications throughout the county. The county did attempt to address some of these classifications, but because of falsehoods given and lack of respect from our representative, things broke down. For example, the legal secretary classification, due to minimum wage increase that positively impacted the office services classification, it has compacted the legal secretaries by 9.5%. The following I'll give you illustrates the deficit from January 1st to present due to circumstances beyond the employee's control. As a legal secretary 1, who grosses $1,819.98, if you times that by the 9.5%, that is $172 a paycheck. Times 11 pay periods is $1,901.89. So a current pay per paycheck grosses the 9.5% times 11 pay periods. This is a noticeable sum when we are already struggling to provide for our families and yet do not qualify for assistance. Some of the employees have promoted from minimum wage classifications to legal secretaries to now being surpassed by those same positions they promoted from. I respectfully request from the board to reconsider not only the legal secretary's classifications, but other classifications as well who have been impacted by the minimum wage increase. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kern. I'm a do I need to spell my last name? Yes. Bussard. And I'm a constituent of District 3. On September 11th, 2020, the Governor Newsom approved and filed with the Secretary of State proclaiming that dispatchers are now regarded as first responders. I am asking the board to recognize our dispatchers as first responders, as this has not been done yet. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Broussard. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. Mr. Couch, about the bike lanes to connect the Loro, Gustavo Aguirre with Center on
Thank
Respect
you.
and the Environment, I'm sorry. We took this idea to the residents of Lamont. They liked the idea. And they also suggested to connect, to build one also to connect Irving High, so both high schools. And they mentioned that I think later on today is going to be presented about the bike project in Lamont that is going to be part of the Giorgio. So they said that, just continuing that may be a good idea. So CRP is ready to collaborate with you and the county in looking for that project.
Thank you.
Mr. Ryan, it was great to work with you. It's the kind of work we do is not easy sometimes to get the attention of government entities, and we had very great experience, working with you. Jim, welcome. I think we had the first meeting with you and Mr. Ryan last week, so our hope is that I think this kind of collaboration and communications is going to continue with your office also. So, Mr. Ryan, we are very grateful for the work that you did with us. And I was approached by one of your staff coming into the room. She mentioned that she didn't have our priority list for the communities for the project, so please provide that to your staff and ensure that your last legacy for the communities is funding all the projects in the list. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Diana Mireles. I'm from the Comité Progreso de Lamont. And like Mr. Aguirre said, we're thinking about the bike lanes, and we would like to connect that to Irving too, because don't forget that we're fighting for the high school for a long time, and we're fighting to have a high school in Lamont too. So please don't forget Irving High to put the bike lanes too. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, I have some. Hello, my name is Cesar Aguirre. I come on account of the hopes to address some of the leaking wells that were found by the methane task force. They did inspections in Arvin and found various leaking wells, and they were fixed very rapidly, all but some that were owned by an operator that simply refused to make the repairs. The state asked them to make the repairs, and they appealed and refused those orders. So the paper that I'm presenting you has a specific municipal code. It's a template that gives excuse me, cities and counties the power to have CalGEM begin the process of plugging the wells that are of issue. There are more inspections that are going to be done in Shafter, so this template can be used as a way to make operators that are particularly problematic or are not willing to act according to protect the environment and protect the people in Shafter and in Kern County. It gives you the power to begin that process without waiting on the operator. We have local committees, Comité Progreso de Lamont, Comité Lost Hills en Acción, Committee for a Better Arvin, Committee for a Better Shafter, as well as organizations like mine, Central California Environmental Justice Network, the local Sierra Club chapter, Center on Race, Poverty, Environment, the Climate Center, and Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability are all willing to send support letters so that when you ask for accountability from these operators that are responsible for these leaks, we'll be sure to have action on this. The reason they acted so quickly is because a state-sent methane task force came and dealt with it. They knew that this operator was a problem for months and couldn't do anything about it until they did the inspections. So we can help CalGEM do their job better, because right now they have an interim director and are having trouble with leadership. So we can help protect communities more locally with this code. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Aguirre. Next speaker, please.
Hi, my name is Sandra Placencia. Thank you for the opportunity to provide comment. I'm here along with Cesar. I am the policy advocate for Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability. We work closely along with the community of Fuller Acres, a community that has been identified to host some of the leaking wells that have not been fixed in the Arvin and Lamont area. Residents have expressed deep concerns over the leaking or the potential leaking wells in their area. They share that a lot of their children often experience headaches, nosebleeds, which tend to be side effects of the emissions from the leaking wells. Fuller Acres is a community that is home to many farm workers who are struggling to get by. There is a lack of proper transportation, infrastructure like sidewalks, traffic safety, wastewater, floodwater drainage, and so on. Additionally, environmentally, they are right across the street from the refinery that emits black smoke, flares, and occasionally loud noises. There's no type of alert system, so sometimes when folks, they see the smoke or they hear the loud noises, they don't really know what to do and they get a little scared, which should be, right, because they're right across the street from it. The community is environmentally burdened by the refinery, pollution burden from the truck traffic on Highway 184, the fields nearby, and the dairies next door. Right? The county needs to step in and fix the additional leaking wells that haven't been fixed yet to protect the residents of not only Fuller Acres, but also the surrounding communities like Athol, Lamont, Arvin, and Weed Patch. We ask that the county work with CalGEM to make sure that all of the leaking wells are fixed in an efficient and quick manner to make sure that residents are safe and do not have to deal with yet another environmental and pollution burden that will affect their health in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Placencia. At this time, I'd like to call on our Director of Planning and Natural Resources, Lorelei Oviatt, to say a few words on these items. Thank you.
Lorelei Oviatt, Director of Kern County Planning and Natural Resources. This is an unfortunate issue. Your board's previous ordinance, which was set aside by the court, and many of the people who have testified today are part of the lawsuit that set that aside, gave your board full enforcement power to force these to be cleaned up. At this point, as County Council can indicate, we are prohibited from implementing that ordinance, and therefore I would not recommend that you bring forward any other ordinances. Your board, at the direction I have consistently communicated to CalGEM that this is now their responsibility. They have a fund for orphan wells. We are supposed to be a priority. And certainly, if your board would like us to send another letter to remind CalGEM that this is 100% their responsibility since our ordinance is on abeyance until the appeals court takes action. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, Supervisor Perez.
It is, thank you. I thought the chairman did that, maybe. Just kidding, Chair. Thank you for your indulgence. I see the gentleman here in the front who, I'm not an expert, I don't pretend to be, and we're obviously not, saving the world here this afternoon. But I do see affirmation from you based on what I saw the planning director say. This is a good sign. It sounds like we have some technical issues that we need to, get out ahead of. Thank you for the information, and of course, Lorelei. But I just wanted to point out for the record, Chairman, that I saw from the folks, at least one person come forward. The chairman will probably say no, just to follow the rules. But certainly we're going to move through this, and your expertise is very much appreciated. So thank you, and Chairman, of course, thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Perez. Okay, we're still under public comment. Next speaker, please.
Could I step forward just to clarify?
I'll give you 15 seconds. Okay, move along.
Yeah, it's not a new ordinance. It's an existing municipal code that you can enforce, and we would love to have another letter sent to CalGEM because that is at times what is needed. They knew about these wells. They just didn't inspect them until the governor sent his task force down here, right? So they are aware of wells. The index in the back has the list of them that you can ask for, and then we can take action that way. So we should be a priority, and we should send that letter to put pressure on CalGEM to do their job.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so at this time, we'll move to board member announcements or reports. Okay, seeing none, I'd like to just to make one myself. Today, joining us at 2 p.m. session, we have some congressional interns from the office of Kevin McCarthy. It is the largest bunch that I've seen. We had lunch at the Point Room, and they're getting an overview today of county government, operations, civics, all in one. They're a snapshot of bright leaders throughout Bakersfield and our local high schools. And I just wanted to say thank you for coming and appreciate your visit. So thank you. Okay. Next one, that brings us to item number 18 under Public Works Department. This is a contract number 24006, plans, specifications, and notice to bidders for pedestrian and bike path improvements at various locations in Lamont. And Director Josh Champlin will be giving staff's presentation. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you, Chairman Flores, members of the board. So the purpose of this item is to request the board approval of plans and specifications and to authorize the department to publish the notice to bidders for the pedestrian and bike path improvements at various locations in Lamont. And to accompany that today, I have a small presentation to kind of highlight what this project's all about and our efforts to better serve the underserved communities of Kern County. So let me begin. This project arose out of a project brought forward by the Housing Authority of Kern County. They're seeking to construct 41 low-income housing units in and around Lamont. And as a better way to compete for funding, Public Works came alongside them and proposed these improvements that would better connect the residents of this housing development to needed facilities within Lamont. This project is through the AHSC program, and we've worked closely with several advocacy groups in and around the area. So this money came about as part of an Affordable Housing Sustainable Communities grant. I'd just like to note that this item is in a $1.66 million project, all of which is 100% reimbursable. So this money comes as no cost to the county or to the roads fund. So on the Housing Authority side of things, they are constructing a 41-unit multifamily affordable housing that has energy efficient amenities. And on the county side, Public Works is proposing 4 miles of bike lanes, 1 mile of sidewalks, 1 mile of bike paths, a new Kern Regional Transit bus stop, updating signs, and 1 new crosswalk. And here's the project benefits. With this, we can improve safety, access, and mobility for the residents, not only of this new housing development, but also existing residents in the area. This map shows you that there's major work being done on DiGiorgio and Myrtle Avenue and Wharton Avenue, consisting of multi-use paths, sidewalks. The existing paved path will be constructed to concrete and adding bicycle lanes. We've worked throughout this process with community partners. As you can see here, CRPE being one of the main contributors. And this was a project very high on their priority list. And to mirror what some of the speakers said, Mr. Alsop has gone above and beyond to make these priorities for the communities of Lamont and Arvin. We will continue to work with them, and we have been working with them on future projects that will be coming before your board. But before I end, I just want to recognize I have a couple of Public Works employees who are instrumental in the delivery of these projects with me today. I have Yolanda Alcantar. Yolanda is part of the management team at Public Works, and she is very involved on getting these grants for the Public Works Department and working closely with our partners in the communities. And as well, I have Jeff Davis, who is our capitals manager. He is responsible for the delivery of all of our capital improvement projects that come through the Public Works Department. So Therefore, it is recommended that your board make findings that this project is categorically exempt from the requirements of the California Environmental Quality Act per section 15301C of the state CEQA guidelines, and approve the plans and specifications. Authorize chairman to sign the plans and authorize Public Works Department to publish the notice to bidders in a newspaper of general circulation pursuant to section 20392 of Public Contract Code. The bid opening date is to be Wednesday, July 19th, 2023 at 11 a.m. at 2700 M Street, Bakersfield, California. That concludes my presentation, and I'm available for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Champlin. At this time, I'll open it up to public comment. Would anyone like to comment on this item?
Good afternoon again. Gustavo Aguirre with Center on Race, Poverty, and Environment. We encourage the supervisors to approve this project. We have been working, as mentioned, for several years already. The Comité Progreso de la Mon was engaged from the beginning, advocating for the funds for this low-income housing, and also, with changing the plans for the sidewalks and everything. So please approve this request.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Aguirre. Next speaker, please.
Good evening, board members. My name is Roberto Gonzalez. I'm from Committee Progreso de la Mon. I came to support and follow up this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Diana Mireles, Comité Progreso de la Mon, I'm sorry. Again, I encourage you to support the project. We've been working, like Gustavo Aguirre said, with Yolanda for a long time ago. She's very, helpful. She's meeting with us, and she's bring other projects, and we tell her what we need, and also with Mr. Alsop. So I would like you guys to approve this project. Thank you.
Thank you for your positive feedback. Any other speakers on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board. Supervisor Couch.
Chairman, thank you. Well, we're getting all our money back, so there's not much to worry about here, I don't think. I want to recognize Yolanda and Ryan and you as well for all your hard work on this, and I appreciate the community's involvement, and I'll move your recommendation. Thank you.
Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. Lamont is my old stomping ground, so it's always very personal to me, and I'm so happy to see all of these representatives here. You seem to have an excellent working relationship with Supervisor Couch. Congrats to both of you, the committee, the government side. Obviously, the hands of it through Yolanda and others are so marvelous. So I just want to tip my hat to the supervisor. If only Mr. Lane could see us now. Right? I mean, this is a delicate business, Gustavo, as you know, and it's so nice to see you here in partnership with the county. You have to push. I know that. We have to push. We wear different hats, but this is like the best of us, and I'm excited to see the partnership, how it's growing and developing, and all the things you're actually doing to check off, right? Outcomes that are being delivered as a result of your community organizing, and of course a good relationship with your supervisor and the county. So hats off to all of you. Ryan, again, thank you. And to our new CEO, thank you too. Soon to be new, you know what I mean.
Thank you, Supervisor Perez. Okay, I think that was a second. Was that a second?
I'm so sorry. Yes, second,
Okay,
please.
that was a strong second. Okay. Members, cast your vote.
A strong, almost second.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, thank you. All right, that brings us to adjournment. Having no more additional items to consider, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to June 27th. Thank you. Motion and meeting's adjourned. Thank you.